G'day guys and girls, and welcome to On Future, Our Natural Future. I'm your host Scotty Ze. Welcome to this episode. We're about to start in just a moment with an amazing woman, Clancy Lee Beck, who is, I won't give too much away right now, but a very inspiring woman with a very inspiring story. But before we get to that, I'd just like to put some focus and attention for just a moment onto an amazing charity that's doing some really profound work in the world called Destiny Rescue. You can see that on the screen here, destinyrescue.org, an amazing organization that is helping to bring children, especially children, out of poverty, but mostly out of sex slavery, out of child sex slavery in particularly third world countries. So go and check that out if you have any desire or any ability to be able to help any of these children. You can see there, take the 26-second challenge. It's very, very easy to get involved, and an amazing organization that is literally transforming the lives of young girls around the world. destinyrescue.org. But without further ado, welcome to the On Future episode, and here we go with an amazing woman, Clancy Lee Beck. Welcome to this episode of Our Natural Future. This is Scotty Z sitting here in Burleigh on the Gold Coast of Australia with Clancy Lee Beck. How are you today?
I'm good, Scotty. How are you?
Awesome. Now, we've been talking already for probably an hour and a half. No.
I think about two and
a half hours. Yeah, we got here at 10, so we've been talking already for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And decided that it would be fun just to, I just said, let's record this because we've had such amazing conversations, and I thought that other people out there would like to hear what we're talking about as well.
Sounds good.
Sounds good? So I guess the reason we connected is that we both have a passion for, your book writing series at the moment is called
Journeys of the Soul.
Yeah. So we met on Facebook and I saw that you had this thing, Journeys of the Soul. You saw that I was doing transformational adventures. We decided to get together and have a conversation. 2.5 hours later, here we are having a conversation.
Yeah, since we're both passionate about adventure, journeys, the soul, spirituality, had a lot in common.
So your journey, tell me a bit about it. I know you told me before, but just let these guys know why the book writing series, where you're at with it. I know you almost finished the first book of a series. Based on your journeys and how you've grown through adventure and journeying around the world. Is that right?
That's right. The series started because I had come through several years, the last probably 5 years, I think, of my life, trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing, where I was supposed to be going, very much thinking that I should be doing something. Okay. Comparing myself to others and where they were at in their lives and feeling that I had not yet achieved anything. And so I tried several different programs. I tried lots of different jobs, new enterprises, being an entrepreneur, various things, none of which really gelled with me at a deep level. And I knew that they weren't what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And it really it really caused me to look at who I was and what made me passionate, where my passion came from. And I realized that my passion had been actually what I had been doing for 15 years prior to this, which was going on adventures, traveling, being out in nature, which had at the time just been, in my eyes, just fun. But it came from a heart space. And I felt totally connected when I was doing these things. And I realized that if I could do that and somehow make a living from doing that and sharing that with other people, that passion, then that is what my purpose was. That was why I'm here.
So your journey of self-discovery, trying all the different jobs, trying all these different personal development things, has brought you back to what you naturally did for fun and enjoyment anyway.
Exactly. And at the time I thought it was just being a little bit irresponsible and whatever, or just having fun. But
which is what our society tells us, right?
Exactly, but it's that, when you get down to it, is what life should be about, is having fun and doing what comes naturally. And that is, for me, is being out there in nature, testing myself a little bit, not to the point of being scared. I'm not an adrenaline freak or I don't like pushing myself to the point of being scared, but I like to test myself physically and push myself through certain boundaries. And the learnings that excuse the truck that's just gone past. the learnings that I have got from that and the strength that I have discovered that I have through those physical journeys has been the big journey for me. Yeah.
How old are you now, Clancy?
I have
Got to do
think.
the math on that.
I have to think. When you get to the age where you forget how old you are, it doesn't matter anymore.
40 something.
40 something, late 40s.
Okay.
It's around 47.
40. Okay. A couple of kids.
Yeah, 47.
47 is it?
I've got 2 children. I've got a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, so I was a bit of a late starter.
Yeah, nice.
Because I was off around the world having adventures, having fun.
Yeah, nice.
So, and it wasn't until I was late 30s that I felt ready to that I was in a position to be able to be a mother and to bring little people into the world. So
it seems you've lived, I guess, what could be called an unconventional life. You haven't done what society has dictated is the right thing to do or the way that we should do. I can tell that it's fun. The glitter in your eyes is just like you love life. You're there every moment and experiencing and enjoying it.
Yeah.
How have you felt as you are unconventional? How has it been with society and the pressures and the dictation of what life should be? How has that affected you, or how have you moved through that?
Well, I think for a long time I was at the mercy of it, and I felt very much aware of other people's opinions. Even though they may not have existed, I probably projected them onto other people and presumed that they were being, put back on me. I think it all probably came from me, self-judgment, as much as society's judgment of what I should be doing and what was acceptable. And because I hadn't gone to university, I didn't have a degree, I wasn't making lots of money from being successful in business and that sort of thing, I judged myself on that. And so I guess then and also I think society does judge people up to an extent, especially a mother being single or not, being an unemployed mother. It's like, well, what do you do? It's almost as though you're expected to do something other than being a mother. And also I think, thought that I needed to do something more than just being a mother. So
your journeys, it seems that's just what you felt like doing, so that's what you did?
The adventures?
The adventures, sorry. How did you get to do all the adventures?
They were not planned. They were all purely off the cuff, and the instant ideas that come to you in a conversation one day. You may just be talking about one thing, and then suddenly you go, hey, wouldn't it be cool to cycle across the Nullarbor, for instance? And you go, yeah, and then just do it.
And a lot of these were done with your husband, yeah?
A lot of them were done with my husband. I think only 2 adventures in the series I've done them by myself, and all the others have been with him.
Wow.
And luckily we have a very similar way of thinking, and we both enjoy doing things that are a little bit out of the box.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what gives me the buzz, is just, I don't know, anyone else has done this, so let's do it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it actually, in my first book, which is almost finished, as I was writing it, I realised that a lot of what drove me came from my upbringing. At school, back in the 70s, it was very much a case of, this was in England too, very much a case of which box are you in?
Yeah.
Which box are you going to go into when you leave school? Are you going to be a secretary? Are you going to be a lawyer? Are you going to be a nurse? Are you going to be a policewoman? Are you going to be blah, blah, blah? And
unfortunately, our education system's still doing the same thing now.
Exactly, and none of those boxes felt very comfortable. I didn't want to go and sit in any of those boxes. And so through frustration and not knowing what to do, I ended up putting my backpack on and coming to Australia and travelling. And that is when I first really felt alive. And I felt like I was free, and I thought, this is it, this is what I want to do.
Was there a lot of mentors that were doing similar thing to that, or you were sort of like a pioneer and out there on your own just going for it?
No, none of my friends had been travelling. My sister had done a little bit of travel. She'd been to Israel and done a few things like that. But no, and I think it was... the few things that I did want to do when I was young were things that I was discouraged from doing. So I wanted to be a dancer.
Okay. can't make a living being a dancer, darling.
Exactly. You have to be very, very good to make a lot of money out of being a dancer. Most of them are unemployed, employed as waitresses in their spare time. Then I wanted to be a farmer. Oh, you can't, if you're a female, you just end up being a farm secretary. You can't be a farmer if you're a woman. So all these sorts of channels that I felt passionate about had doors closed against them, and rather than fighting for that, I sort of believed the adults and what they said, that they knew best, and so I gave up and went travelling. And I think that when the ideas for the adventures came up and they sounded out of the box and a bit crazy, I thought, I can do that. That is something I can do, and nobody can tell me that I can't do it. So it made me want to do it even more. So sea kayaking for 10 days up the coast of WA when I hadn't ever kayaked before.
Wow.
I thought, well, I can do that. It sounds crazy, but I can do it, and I'll show everybody I can do it. And I think it was that determination to prove to everybody and to myself that I could do something. And that's what drove me to do all these things, I think. So
I know we were talking before, you're writing this book series and you want to inspire women especially to be able to follow their heart and to be able to do these things that are out of the box and that we don't have to fit into the box. I feel it's really important to have mentors like yourself, because we have so many mentors in society that says, as a woman, you should get this job, you should find a partner, you should have children, you should raise a family, you should do all of these things. And we're seeing that there's a lot of unhappiness and a lot of despair in these women that are following this conventional path, where the ones that are really living the life and having fun are the ones like yourself that have stepped away from what everyone else is telling them they should do and started to tap into that internal guidance system, that heart, that feeling that's pushing them forward. Can you tell me a bit more about you and what you want to do with the book series and how you want to help other women especially?
Absolutely. I, as a wife and a mother, I have really noticed that it's...
Catch him.
Get that fly, would you? It's driving us nuts. It's very easy to become everything for other people. So you become the wife for your husband, you become the mother for your children. And I think it's quite common for a lot of wives and mothers to forget about being something for themselves or about being themselves, and to be okay with that. And so what I would really like from this book series is to, and from other programs that I'm sort of developing, is to help people to reveal who they really are, not who they think they should be or who other people think they should be, but who they really are, underneath all the masks, underneath all society's expectations. Reveal the real person underneath, and for them to then 100% accept that person. Not judge that person and not criticize that person that they are, but to 100% accept the person that they are, and then to celebrate that and be that person. And be it in a way so that it shines light out to other people, to let them know that it's okay for them to be themselves as well. Yeah.
And this is what you've been through yourself?
Yes, absolutely. I knew who I was inside, but I was always a little bit, not afraid, just a little bit uncertain about revealing the whole me. I would reveal parts of me that I thought it was okay for other people to see, or parts of me that I thought that they would accept, but I didn't reveal the parts that I thought that they would judge and not accept. And this is all about revealing the whole you. It doesn't matter what other people think. If they don't like a certain part of you, then that's something that's an issue that they have with something. It's not yours. It's having the confidence and the courage to be that person.
Is it about having to reveal yourself to other people because they were talking before as like act as a mirror so that you can see more of yourself, or is it I understand the importance of revealing myself to other people as well. But I guess the question is it because they're a mirror to help me see that person? Or is it because we live in a society where we're a community and we need other people in our world? Does that question make sense? What is the necessity of having to reveal ourselves fully?
I think primarily it's for ourselves. Because if we're judging ourselves, then we're not totally loving all of ourselves. We have to realize that we are not perfect, and nobody is perfect. We have parts of ourselves that might not be considered right. We get angry, we do this, that, and the other. But it's about not judging that part as bad.
Okay.
It's about accepting that, yes, you have moments where you get angry. Yes, you have moments when you're happy and beautiful. You can't be happy and beautiful all the time. But it's about ourselves fully accepting the whole of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think if you judge yourself and if you judge parts of your character that you don't think are your best, well then that is projecting that out onto other people, and they will pick that up, and then they will pick up on that judgment as well, and they will judge that as being not acceptable.
I just had an image. We were talking before. I always get images of nature and stuff. An image of actually our auric body.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about judging parts of yourself, I imagined the auric body around you, and as you're judging one particular part, it's actually creating a suction into yourself of like, you imagine that the aura is like a shell, like an egg, but there's like a hole that's coming into yourself. That's your judgment. And as other people interact with you, our auras combine and we connect energetically on that ethereal level. I feel that hole that you've created by self-judgment, and I naturally enter that space, like your shield, your barrier. I enter that space as a weakness, and that's where I'm judging you now. Mm-hmm. But you've created that dint in your own armor, your own auric shell.
Exactly.
Yourself. You've created that, and I'm naturally just finding that space to come in.
Exactly, yes.
Just an image I had in my mind is that we're constantly creating that energetic bubble. It's like when we do qigong or energy work, we were speaking about before, is the Chinese and the Japanese teach that we can actually build out our auric body, our energetic body, and make it stronger and make it more influential out to the world.
Yep.
And we can retract it and we can move it and we can shift and move energy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're doing constantly with our own self-belief and our own self-confidence, is we're putting dints in that auric body. We're putting holes in that aura where other people will then judge and attack us through.
Yeah.
But it's up to us.
Exactly. If we put a sort of a black area on one part of our personality, then when we're engaging with someone else, they're going to pick that up. They won't know exactly what it is, but they will feel that something is negative about you because you're projecting it out to them.
Yeah.
So if we can make our own energetic field much cleaner and much brighter and more inviting to be around, well then you'll find that people will come toward you and want to share that. So.
And it also inspires those people to do the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most important things that you're doing now is you stepped off the path, you stepped off the conventional path, and you made your own way. You had to find your own way because it's the only thing that your heart would allow you to do.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
There wasn't too many mentors back then doing the same thing. I know now you stepping into this role, you've been through the shit.
Yes.
You've come out the other side. You know what it is to be yourself. You know what it is to love yourself, to love those dints in your armor as part of who you are.
Yeah.
And you're stepping into a role through your writing of your books, Journeys of the Soul, and through the programs that you're wanting to facilitate.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be doing one together in July.
Absolutely.
Come along and be a facilitator there.
Yeah.
Is you're stepping into a role as a mentor for other young women, especially, or even women your own age or older.
Yeah.
And men will be inspired by that as well, but particularly you as a woman and as a mother stepping in and being a way shower and saying to other people, hey, look, I've been through this and this is where I am, and I want to be able to show you that you can do it too.
Yeah.
That you can find that within yourself and be able to do it too.
Yeah.
We need this in our life. We need these mentors to step up and make the journey a lot easier. And you are one of those people. You're particularly saying to other women, hey, it is possible. Be yourself. Yes, be a mother. Yes, be a wife. Yes, do what it is that fulfills those roles, but also be yourself.
Yes.
That's a very, very powerful thing that you offer to other women.
Absolutely. And if you're not full yourself, think of yourself as a jug of water. If you're not full yourself, you can't then overflow to other people.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you need to fill yourself up first. And you cannot do that unless you totally accept yourself and love yourself for who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Well, we're at 3 hours of a conversation now.
Thank you, Scotty. Yeah, we have.
And for everyone out there, Clancy is about to release, not far. How long until we get to read Journeys of the Soul, the first book?
Ooh, I have to do my homework and finish up some bits. I would say, where are we now? April. I was aiming for July.
Okay.
August. So that's where I'm still aiming.
So we'll keep a lookout for that.
Absolutely.
Quick teaser of the book. You mentioned it to me before about the journey itself. Without giving too much away.
Just a tiny bit. It's about adventure. It's about facing fear, and it's about realizing that the source of all power is the world within. And it's about sometimes that you have to get lost in order to find yourself.
And it's based on a true story of you being on an actual adventure.
Yes, it is. And the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual journey that I went on through that time and the lessons that I learned.
It's like others are walking with you.
Yes, I hope so. I've tried to write it in a way that to really describe where I was at so that I can take people on the same journey so they can hopefully come through the end with the same outcome that I did.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking for July.
We are.
And
I'm committing now, aren't I?
Yeah, that's right. Any way that we can get more information or learn about it? There's a Facebook page.
There is a Facebook page. It's
I'll put the link at the bottom of this.
Facebook.com/Journeys of the Soul.
Easy.
And it's there's a little bit of inspirational stuff on there as well, but I will be releasing any book information on there first.
Okay, so. Maybe some excerpts to keep us going as well.
Yeah.
So Facebook.com/Journeys of the Soul.
Yes.
Excellent. So go and like that page, get some more information about Clancy Lee Beck. It's an awesome name as well. And otherwise, this is Scotty Z. Thank you so much. Another episode of Our Natural Future. And you are definitely leading the way and showing us a future that is possible. And that's what we need, more mentors in our life. And I especially want to reach out to any women out there. Go and find that page and connect with Clancy as well, because definitely inspirational.
Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, bye.